Welcome back, YouTubers. Today we're doing some staining, so I'm just going to get right into the demo, show you how we prep our pine pieces and then how we apply our stain to get this project completed in a timely fashion. So let's get into the demo. So these are the pieces of the Muskoka chairs that have been cut down out of pine, and then we have to knock off the hard edges that are created by the table saw. So this is the pile that has to be sanded yet. So we're going to use a machine to do the bulk of the sanding on the flats. We're going to hand sand with a very coarse grit sandpaper, and then we'll be ready for staining. Now we're just taking some finer sandpaper and just get any fibers that we may have raised with the coarse sandpaper, and then we'll be ready to stain. So we brought our pieces over to the workbench where we're going to be staining. So we just want to first of all give each piece a wipe, get any loose dust that may be on there. We don't have to be overly fussy because the first coat of stain is going to raise the grain, going to make it rough, and we'll have to sand it very, very lightly after that first coat. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll realize you have to do that. So just get the worst of the dust off, and then we just take a rag and make a pad out of it, and we just dip it into our stain. In this case we're using a semi-transparent tinted stain. So you just dip it in, shake off the excess, and then start at one end and then just wipe it all the way through and turn your piece. You'll also notice that I'm wearing vinyl gloves to protect my hands from one, burning, and two, from getting stained and make them hard to clean. So twofold benefits to that. So then we're just going to leave that piece for a moment, do a couple of other pieces, and then we'll come back. We got 3 or 4 pieces stained up, and we've allowed the stain to penetrate the surface of the wood for a few minutes. So now we're just basically going to wipe it off. So you just take another one of your rags. You start at one end the same way as it went on, and lightly take off the excess and try not to leave any rag marks on the surface. And then you just rack it up to the other ones, and we're done. So you'll notice that the 4 pieces that I've just done are slightly lighter than the others, and that's because they only have one coat. So what you would do is when they dry, you'd give them a very light sanding with at the very least 150 grit, possibly finer. And you would judge that by how much stain comes off. And you wouldn't sand too hard on the corners so as to take the stain off at that point. And so you can see these pieces are going to make up 8 Muskoka chairs. There's the arms. And you can see the other pieces there all racked up. So we want to be organized, we want to be clean, and then we'll have nice components to make the finished product with.